The S23 Ultra versus the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus. If you're new to the channel, I'll explain how we do these comparisons. If you are new to the channel, go ahead and give that subscribe button a tussle. It certainly means a lot to me. So, are we looking to see which one is objectively better? No. I think from every technical standpoint, the S23 Ultra is going to beat the Note 10 Plus at this point. Does that mean it's better for you? No, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But what we are trying to do is, if you do already own a Note 10 Plus, is it worth it for you to upgrade, shell out that extra cash to the S23 Ultra? And if money's not an object, if you're on your carrier deal or something like that, you could pay your $30 a month and you could get a good trade-in deal for your Note 10 Plus through your carrier and get those bill credits. You're going to stick with them forever anyway. Then go ahead and do it. You're going to love the upgrades of the S23 Ultra. But if you're not in that position and you still love your Note 10 Plus, I was fully expecting to be able to jump up and down and say to upgrade its time to the S23 Ultra. But I went back and started using the Note 10 Plus again and saw what you still got. I couldn't do it anymore. It was like that Wolf of Wall Street scene where he says he's staying and then slams the microphone against his head. That type of deal. I think you could absolutely, once again, get away with another year with your Note 10 Plus just because of how much you get and where it is in its life cycle. So let's talk about what you got way back in 2019. IP68 dust and water resistance, expandable storage, which I can't even tell you how many comments a year I get from people jumping up and down saying they're not buying another flagship device until expandable storage comes back. Well, you're going to be waiting a little bit. But at least I got the good news that you can hang on to your Note 10 Plus another year and enjoy the expandable storage. Quad HD display, HDR10, 45 watt fast charging, wireless DeX, 4,300 milliamp hour battery, 12 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage, and Android 12 support with One UI 4. Now, what I was confused about is I thought support had fallen off for this guy last year, but the updates had fallen off, but it's still going to be getting security patches every quarter until September of this year. So it's not on the monthly or bi-monthly update cycle that they had been on. They're going to be giving you quarterly updates for this guy until September 2023, which is good. You're still in support. You're still protected. If that's something that's important to you, you could go ahead and use your Note 10 Plus and not have to worry about it. And that brings you basically almost to the release of another round of devices. You can make it to December or January of the next year and not have that many security concerns when it comes to your Note 10 Plus. So let's compare these two devices and some things besides the micro SD card expandability that you take a look at. Displays are both very nice. Obviously, 120 hertz refresh rate over here, and you have your 60 hertz here. But that's not that big of a deal because the 855 Snapdragon is still snappy enough performance-wise over here that if you turn off animations, you're not going to notice a huge smoothness difference. There is the thing that they did with the display, though, and it's going to be very hard to show on camera through the iPhone here, but you could see it a little bit on the Discord logo there. The purples that they changed and just the saturation that they toned down with the S23 Ultra, which to me is weird. Because if you're doing that, if you're dialing back the saturation, I don't know if you're trying to appeal to people who need a color-accurate display for work, if they're content creators or something like that, and you want a display that's going to accurately show the colors, then you're going to get a Pixel 7 Pro. You're not going to mess with the in-between job that they did with the S23 Ultra. So personally, if you're going to have an oversaturated display anyway, go full out and have something like the Note 10 Plus. Camera, we're going to put up these two shots. The camera and these 12 megapixel shooters that are in your Note 10 are going to show their age at this point. This first one is the Note 10 Plus. When you're dealing with medium lighting, low lighting, you're getting a soft image, the colors don't quite pop. It wasn't quite the sensors that they put in them from the S20 on. It's showing its age at this point. It'll still get the job done. In good lighting, you're still looking at an image that you're going to double tap on Instagram and keep going. And if you're not that big on camera, it doesn't make a difference. And then here's the shot on the S23 Ultra that you can see a lot sharper, better color, overall just better depth to the image from front to back. You can see the screens are more detailed all the way back to the pin deck. So that's a major upgrade that you're going to notice there. Performance-wise, look, it's still going to do everything that you need it to do and be snappy with it. It's still going to go on Twitter and not have an issue with Twitter. You're still going to be able to do all your scrolling and everything once it loads up. You're still going to have no issues. You're still going to be able to go on Instagram and get all your Instagramming done without issue. Facebook is still going to be fine. Gaming is still going to be fine. You can have multiple, 12 gigs of RAM. You can have as many Chrome tabs open as your heart desires and get everything done. OneNote, To Do, Reddit, Discord, WhatsApp. I mean, name what you have to do on a phone in 2023, and the Note 10 Plus can still do it. Over here, is it going to be faster? Yep. Is it going to be smoother? Oh, you better believe it. This is nice. This is silky smooth. I've been absolutely loving the performance of the S23 Ultra. It's a way bigger upgrade from the S23 Ultra, S22 Ultra than I thought it would be. But $1,200 versus paid off. Maybe you're getting one of these, like $200-300 get you a nice one. It's a lot of phone in comparison. And you're talking, like we've talked about before, what's the percentage of the performance of the UI that you're getting? A user experience. Are you getting 90%? 85%? Sounds like a pretty good deal to me. And if you already own one, I would hang on to it. Design, listen, this is a nice design. I love the squared off. It's a premium feel. It's excellent. It's also a brick. It's a tank. It's an absolute tank. This one was just a beautifully done design, nice and light. You got the fingerprint sensor underneath. You got I've even over the years grown to like the button placement on this because you got the button on the left side, but you got that pen on the right side. So if you're a righty, lefties forget it. If you're a righty, then you enjoy this configuration a lot. It's thin, it's light. That 2019 design that they hit between the S10 Plus and the Note 10 Plus was really their high point, I think, on what they were doing design-wise. But just a beautiful phone, still to look at, absolutely premium. So while this is better, it feels a little bit better, and I do like the squared off edges and the squared off design of the display. It's not, you're picking both up. You have holding both in your hand. They're both flagship, both premium builds, and this one going to be a little lighter and thinner, so it's less real estate in your pocket. Stylus latency and stuff like that. Yeah, okay. There's 42 milliseconds. Is it nice to have the basically instant display when you're writing on the S23 Ultra? Yeah, it is. It's really nice to be able to go across the display and have it be like paper where it's just instantly on there. And it is nice for accuracy and all the rest of it. But we're talking, again, we're dealing in milliseconds for an additional amount of money. Whereas this, still gets the job done. Takes an extra moment. You notice a difference, but you know what? Doesn't matter. Because what are you really doing? How much you're really doing writing-wise with your S Pen that the latency on the milliseconds on the latency is going to come that much into play. So while I love the S23 Ultra, it's great. It's the best phone out. It's a lot of money. So unless you're getting a fantastic trade-in deal, which Samsung did not offer on the Note 10 Plus originally, or you're taking advantage of those carrier deals where you get $1,000 off or $850 off or something like that, and you're comfortable staying with your carrier for the 3 years to get all of those credits, then trade it in. You're going to love this. You're going to reset the clock as far as the updates or cycles concerned. You're going to get new versions of Android, new updates. If you're somebody that wants the latest, greatest Android features that they've got, One UI 5.1 is fantastic. It's the best software they've ever released, but One UI 4 is not a slouch. They've been doing well with software for years. So if it's a money thing, if you were worried about this being out of support, if you're worried about being really left behind, I think the only place where you're really left behind is going to be in the camera department. But the rest of it, you can absolutely get another year and not notice that big of a difference between this and the top-of-the-line flagship, at least not in practical day-to-day matters. So if that's what's most important to you, you know what? Note 10 Plus people, hang in there another year. I'm going to be loving it for a long time. It's a great device, great feel overall. Love my Note 10 Plus. If you're somebody that's jumping up and down saying you're never updating until they bring back expandable storage, well, you don't have a headphone jack with your Note 10 Plus, but you got expandable storage. You could stuff it with movies or whatever you do with it. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, have that Steve-licious day.